What would you do if your ex-girlfriend shot you 6 times in cold blood and then danced around the interrogation room? That's what happened to Ryan Poston, a young lawyer who was killed by Shayna Hubers in 2012. Shayna Hubers claimed she acted in self-defense when she shot her boyfriend Ryan Poston 6 times in his condo. But the evidence and her own words told a different story. A story of obsession, jealousy, and murder. Ryan Poston had a bright future ahead of him. He was a successful lawyer, a handsome man, and he had a date with Miss Ohio. But his life was cut short by Shayna Hubers, a woman who couldn't let him go. She shot him 6 times and then mocked him in front of the police. Hello, and welcome to True Crime Diary, where we explore the most shocking and fascinating cases of murder and mayhem. In this episode, we will dive into the brutal story of Shayna Hubers and Ryan Poston, a couple who met online and had a turbulent relationship that ended in tragedy. We will examine the events that led up to the fatal night of October 12, 2012, when Shayna shot Ryan 6 times in this Highland Heights condominium. We will also look at the evidence, the trial, and the aftermath of this horrific crime. Was Shayna a victim of abuse who acted in self-defense, or a cold-blooded killer who wanted to punish Ryan for leaving her? Stay tuned to find out. Shayna Hubers and Ryan Poston met on Facebook in 2011 when they were both 21 years old. Shayna was a psychology student at the University of Kentucky, and Ryan was a lawyer who had just passed the bar exam. They had a lot in common. They were both smart, ambitious, and attractive. They soon started dating and seemed to be happy together. But behind the scenes, their relationship was far from perfect. Shayna was obsessed with Ryan and constantly texted and called him. She was jealous of his ex-girlfriends and accused him of cheating on her. She also had a history of mental health issues and had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and ADHD. She often threatened to harm herself or Ryan if he tried to break up with her. Ryan, on the other hand, was growing tired of Shayna's clinginess and drama. He felt trapped and suffocated by her and wanted to end the relationship. He also had his eyes on another woman, Audrey Bolt, a former Miss Ohio who had competed in the Miss USA pageant. Ryan had met Audrey online and had arranged to go on a date with her on October 12, 2012. That night, Ryan was at his condo in Highland Heights, Kentucky, getting ready for his date. He had told Shayna that he wanted to see other people and that he didn't want her to come over. But Shayna didn't take no for an answer. She drove to his place and let herself in with a key he had given her. She found him sitting at his dining table, working on his laptop. What happened next is a matter of dispute. According to Shayna, Ryan was angry and abusive towards her. She claimed that he threw her around the room and that he reached for a gun that he kept in his table. She said that she grabbed the gun first and shot him in self-defense. She said that she was afraid for her life and that she loved him. According to the prosecution, however, Shayna was the aggressor. They argued that she shot Ryan because he wanted to leave her and that she wanted to punish him for choosing another woman over her. They said that she shot him 6 times in different parts of his body, including his head and his chest. They said that she showed no remorse and that she even taunted him as he lay dying. The evidence and the witnesses supported the prosecution's version of events. The forensic experts testified that Ryan's wounds were inconsistent with self-defense and that he was shot while he was sitting or lying down. The neighbors testified that they heard loud noises and gunshots, but no signs of a struggle or a fight. The police testified that they found Shayna at the scene, holding the gun and talking incessantly. But the most damning evidence against Shayna was her own words. She made several incriminating statements to the police, the 911 operator, and even her own mother. She admitted that she shot Ryan 6 times and that she gave him the nose job he always wanted. She also said that she was smarter than him and that she would get away with it. She even danced and sang in the interrogation room and asked if she could go to a Halloween party. Shayna's trial began in April 2015 and lasted for 2 weeks. The jury heard all the evidence and the testimonies and saw the videos and the photos of the crime scene. They also heard from Ryan's family and friends, who described him as a kind, generous, and loving person. They also heard from Shayna's defense team, who tried to portray her as a victim of domestic violence and mental illness. But the jury was not convinced by Shayna's defense. They deliberated for only 5 hours and found her guilty of murder. They recommended a sentence of 40 years in prison, which was later imposed by the judge. Shayna was taken away in handcuffs and showed no emotion. However, Shayna's case was not over yet. In 2016, it was discovered that one of the jurors in her trial was a convicted felon, which was a violation of Kentucky law. This meant that Shayna was entitled to a new trial, which was granted by the court. Shayna's defense team hoped that this would be a chance to get a different outcome and to present new evidence and witnesses. But the second trial, which took place in August 2018, was not much different from the first one. The prosecution presented the same evidence and arguments, and the defense presented the same claims and theories. The only difference was that Shayna took the stand in her own defense and tried to explain her actions and emotions. She said that she was sorry for what she did, and that she wished she could take it back. But the jury was not moved by Shayna's testimony. They deliberated for only 2.5 hours and found her guilty of murder again. This time, they recommended a sentence of life in prison, which was also imposed by the judge. Shayna broke down in tears and begged for mercy, but it was too late for Shayna. She had lost her freedom, her reputation, and her future. She had also taken away the life of Ryan Poston, a man who had so much to live for. She had turned a love story into a nightmare and a tragedy that shocked the nation. Shayna's second trial also attracted a lot of media attention, as the case had become a national sensation. Many people were fascinated by the details of the crime, the personalities of the victim and the killer, and the twists and turns of the legal process. Some of the media outlets that covered the trial were Dateline NBC, 48 Hours, and Snapped. The trial also sparked a debate about the issues of domestic violence, mental health, and self-defense. Some people sympathized with Shayna and believed that she was a victim of abuse who snapped under pressure. They pointed out that she had no criminal record and that she had suffered from psychological problems since childhood. They also argued that the justice system was biased against women and that she deserved a fair trial and a second chance. Others, however, condemned Shayna and saw her as a manipulative and cold-blooded murderer. They pointed out that she had no evidence of physical abuse and that she had stalked and harassed Ryan for months. They also argued that she showed no remorse and that she mocked and disrespected Ryan even after his death. They said that she deserved the maximum punishment and that she posed a danger to society. The jury, however, was not swayed by either side. They based their decision on the facts and the law, and they found Shayna guilty of murder again. They also recommended a harsher sentence than the first jury, and they showed no sympathy for Shayna's tears and pleas. Shayna's fate was sealed, but her saga was not over yet. She still had the option to appeal her conviction and sentence. And she did not give up hope. She'd also found love behind bars and married another inmate, Unique Taylor, in June 2018. Unique was serving an 8-year sentence for robbery, and she met Shayna in the Campbell County Jail. The two exchanged vows in a brief ceremony and wore matching white jumpsuits. Shayna also maintained contact with her family and friends, who supported her throughout her ordeal. She also received letters and messages from strangers, some of whom expressed admiration and affection for her. She'd also kept herself busy by reading, writing, and studying. She said that she wanted to pursue a PhD in psychology and that she'd hoped to help other people with mental health issues. Shayna Hubers may have had a bright future ahead of her, but she threw it away when she killed Ryan Poston. She may have loved him, but she also destroyed him. She may have been a smart and talented woman, but she also became a notorious and hated killer. She may have been a complex and controversial figure, but she also became a simple and clear-cut case of murder. In this episode, we have explored the brutal story of Shayna Hubers and Ryan Poston, a couple who met online and had a turbulent relationship that ended in tragedy. We have seen how Shayna shot Ryan 6 times in his condo and then tried to justify her actions as self-defense. We have also seen how she was convicted of murder twice and sentenced to life in prison. This case raises many questions and issues, such as the nature of love and obsession, the impact of mental health and domestic violence, and the role of the justice system and the media. It also shows us the dark side of human behavior and the consequences of our choices and actions. We would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this case and on our video. Please leave a comment below and let us know what you think. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.